Greetings, everybody! T-Prower once again. It's the last episode before the season finale, and my last fan commentary episode of Season 7. I had a lot of fun mixing things up this season, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. It means a lot to have you guys looking out for episodes that you think would be best gone to blind, and I'm thinking of sticking to this format when we go to Season 8. But I digress. Let's talk a bit about Sunburst. He was Starlight Glimmer's full-hood friend, and taught her a lot about magic. The two were inseparable back then, but when Sunburst got his cutie mark, after saving Starlight's life, he left for magic school, leaving his friend behind, which sparked her hatred for cutie marks and the beginning of her days as a dictator. However, after Starlight's reformation, her very first friendship lesson was meeting back up with her old friend. A tall order, since they lost touch for so long, but things took a turn for the better after both admitted secrets they'd been hiding, Starlight's villainous past, and Sunburst's failure at magic school. Even if his execution of spells was lacking, his vast knowledge of magical theory proved instrumental in saving the Crystal Empire, restoring the Crystal Heart after it had been shattered, and giving Flurry Heart her crystalling, earning him his current title of Crystaller. We haven't seen much of the two interacting since then, save for a scene or two in The Times They Are a Changeling and Celestial Advice. Today, we're about to see the two of them realize just how much, or little, they really have in common after so many years apart. Without further ado, let's jump right into Season 7, Episode 24, Uncommon Bond. Let's get to it! Hello, Starlight.
Excuse me, when does the noon train from the Crystal Empire arrive?
Noon?
Huh, right. Sorry. I'm just a little excited because my friend Sunburst is coming.
Really? I couldn't tell.
We've known each other practically forever. We have tons in common. We both love magic.
Hey,
and
Vinyl.
and jokes, everything, really. Now that I think about it, there isn't a pony in all of Equestria I have more in common with.
Sorry, Glimmy. I don't think she can hear you. She's too busy jamming out. But in all seriousness, seeing you so giddy is just so precious. You've gone from a pony I absolutely hated to one of the most adorable sweethearts I've ever met. There's the train, right on time. Lots of crystal ponies here for a visit. Yikes! Liable to cut something off if you're not careful.
Starlight?
There you are, Sunburst!
You made it!
Aww!
I've been looking forward to this visit for a long time.
That's a lot of books.
Just a little reading for the train.
Oh, trust me, Sunburst. I'm the same way when it comes to packing things to do when traveling. I keep thinking, is my iPod enough? Or should I bring a book or two while I'm at it?
Same old Sunburst.
Some things never change.
It's gonna be so great spending time together, just like old times.
The good old
You and me
days.
doing the stuff we like, games, magic.
Antiquing.
What?
Antiquing.
You know I like antiquing.
You do?
First we've heard
Of
it.
course. Historical knickknacks, ancient relics. Oh, you are so lucky. Ponyville is antique central.
A positive goldmine of ancient
We never
history.
talked about this. We are going antiquing, and you are gonna love it.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Let's drop your stuff off at the castle first.
Sure, only we may need to make a few trips.
Hey, Sunburst. Rarity called. She wants her luggage back.
This is so great! Who knew I'd be the one showing you the cool sights of Ponyville?
I suppose it depends on how one defines cool. He's like a kid in a candy store.
Wow, what a difference between the hoof-molded bricks and the extruded ones, right?
Guess you need an expert's eye to tell.
Oh! Check out all these chandeliers!
Sparkly!
Sometimes the crystals have magical properties.
That's pretty
Oh,
neat.
that's cool. How do you... Sunburst!
Hello, your royal studiousness.
In the antique store?
In Ponyville. Starlight's really been looking forward to your visit.
Very much,
Though
as we've
I'm in
seen.
the antique store, too. I'm usually the only one.
Aw,
That's
poor
crazy.
Twy.
Who doesn't like antiquing, right?
Right.
Ooh, look! An ancient map of Equestria made by the mighty Helm!
Now there's a nice
Without
callback.
Unicorn magic or Pegasus flight, the Earth ponies of the mighty Helm were able to map the entire coast of Equestria.
That's actually really impressive. Poor Starlight. Relegated to the third wheel. This music's nice, though. Aww. Aww, that blush. That kind of looks like Sweetie Belle, without a horn. Aw, it's okay, Glimmy. I'm not much of a shopper or browser myself, unless there's books or video games to browse through. I'm usually bored out of my mind just waiting for it to be over.
You don't have to pretend to like all this stuff.
What? No! I do like it! I mean, if you like it, I like it.
Now that's not a good attitude to adopt, Glims. You should never force yourself to try and like something you don't just to please someone who does. We just had an episode about being dishonest with your friends. Don't make the same mistake Dash did.
Besides, we've almost looked at everything, right? Oh, wow! You have got to see the Saddle Arabian Vanity!
You were tempting fate again.
The shop looked a lot smaller from the outside.
Just like Castle Twilight. Speaking of which... Well, yes, it's a nice lantern. A complete set.
Did you see this
Poor
Palominian
Starlight.
letter opener?
Wow, that goes well with this ancient phoenix feather quill. We could write to each other. Pen pals!
Aw, it's so sweet seeing them bond.
I really like this old-timey barrel.
Actually, the stuff I bought is inside the barrel, but I can't wait to see what it is.
Neither can we.
You don't know what you bought?
It's a blind buy. Sometimes shops get too busy to go through everything, so they load up a box or barrel and sell it without knowing what's inside.
A pretty fun gamble, I'd say.
Once I found a first edition history of Equestria in the original old Ponish.
Flight for certain flight.
Caveat emptor.
It's an old Ponish saying, reward prefers risk.
No risk, no reward.
Loses something in the translation.
In other words, don't explain the joke.
Why don't we look through this stuff later?
Yeah, what do you want to do, Starlight?
Yes,
Well,
do tell.
You don't know if you're gonna remember this, but...
Is this?
It is.
Dragon Pit!
That's got Glimmy's spark
You
back.
used to play it?
Pretty much any time we weren't working on magic. I can't believe you found a copy.
How old is this game? Aw, now this is just
Sunburst
adorable.
would get so excited whenever his dragon got trapped, he knocked the whole board over.
A happy table flip.
Well, it's an exciting game, but I have a little more control over my horn now.
Well, aren't we smug?
Uh-oh, some pony's dragon's gonna get trapped.
Get ready.
Doesn't seem so exciting to me.
Whoop. You were saying, Twy?
I guess it is adorable.
I hope you're enjoying your visit so far.
Well, of course he is.
I mean, first antiquing, and then spending time with Twilight?
Oh.
Hey now, don't forget the main reason you came here, buddy.
Right? I mean, I know she's a princess, but I never thought she'd be so fun to just hang out with.
Well, she's always been humble, likable, adorkable. She doesn't like feeling more important than any pony else. And she's pretty much still the same as she was when she was still a unicorn.
Well, she is the princess of friendship.
Plus that.
I guess that makes sense.
So, tomorrow I thought...
I suppose I'm just surprised at how well we get along. I don't have much in common with most ponies.
You're not alone,
We're
Sunburst.
pretty similar. I don't know many ponies who are fluent in Old Ponish.
Neither do I.
Exactly! Oh, I probably have more in common with Twilight than any pony in Equestria.
Not what Starlight wanted to hear.
Anyway, I better get some sleep. Ponyville might be small, but there's a lot to do.
That's for
We should ask
sure.
Twilight what she recommends we see.
Sure.
Great. Good night, Starlight.
Good night.
Aw, Starlight. I know it hurts, but Sunburst wasn't trying to make you feel left out on purpose. He's just excited about making a new friend. Plus, how long's it been since you two reconnected? There's a big gap between your fullhood and adulthood with no contact. A lot's changed between both of you. Old interests passed on, new ones developed. It's just gonna take a little time to find a common link you can still bond over. Don't give up, honey.
Knock, knock!
Good morning!
Oh, hi, Starlight. Is it morning already?
Barely.
Yep. Maybe a bit early, but like you said, there's a lot
Someone's
to see in
feeling a little
Ponyville.
naked right now.
Right. Okay.
Plus, I couldn't really sleep. I just kept thinking about all the stuff we have in common and how much fun we'll have today.
Great. Is Twilight up yet?
Nah, she's never up this
Sure,
early.
she's busy with princess stuff
Except
today.
that time when she got too excited for winter wrap-up.
But I've got a full day of stuff planned. Just you and me.
Aw, how could you say no to that face? I'd be more than happy to spend a day with you, Glimmy.
Great. Would you mind turning around or preferably leaving the room so I could get changed?
Everyone likes their privacy, Starlight.
One genuine Sweet Apple Acres apple tree.
Just a shame it isn't Bloomberg, but he's all the way in
You
Appaloosa.
used to drink so much apple juice as foals?
That's grasping a bit.
Really? I mean, it was all we drank. Here, try an apple. I bet that'll jog your memory. Oh, ow.
Hello, Trixie.
What are you
Good to
doing
see
here?
you.
I often seek the privacy of the orchard to practice new feats of amazement.
Still making teacups, I see.
Oh, well, Sunburst and I were just catching up, so...
I don't suppose the two of you want to see a never-before-witnessed magical marvel?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Sorry, Glims.
Behold, visiting friend from Starlight's past, and be
What a
amazed
title.
by the great and powerful and current best friend of Starlight, Trixie!
Oh, never change, Trixie. The Chain Escape. A classic.
I give you the unicorn escape. One more.
So sorry, folks. We're experiencing a few
Great
difficulties.
and powerful Trixie requires a little assistance.
Oh,
I know this
Trixie.
trick. There's a special link, but I could never hold the chain up long enough to find it.
We're gonna-
Careful. Don't strangle her. Thank you, Starlight.
Well, if I could do magic like that, I'd have a whole slew of new tricks at my disposal.
That's why
I
Glims
like
is teaching
close-up
you.
magic, because I knew I could do it if I just practiced enough.
Not bad, Sunburst. Nice. Trixie. Pretty good. Is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card? Just a small tip, Trixie. It works better when the cups are the same color. And there aren't balls under all of them.
Starlight, why didn't you tell me how much Sunburst and I had in common?
Because she had no idea herself.
I know Trixie's magic is, fun.
I cannot believe we're back here again.
Magic.
Whoa! This place is pure pony lore.
Well, Pinky proved it was
It's
real.
supposed to be all dangerous, and I guess I shouldn't have broken the seal to get in, but you wanted to see the sights of Ponyville, right?
So, Pinkie Pie just dove in and made copies of herself?
I call it the Pink Apocalypse.
If we made copies of ourselves, we could get a year's worth of hanging out over in one day.
No, Starlight.
Not that
Just
we would.
no.
Do you hear that?
I hope it's not a leftover Pinkie Pie.
Not exactly.
Hello,
How
Maud.
did you get in here?
This cavern's actually connected to mine.
Who'da thunk?
What are you doing?
Tapping.
Maud isn't super chatty. I mean, you and I could sit around and talk all day, but she looks pretty busy.
That's not a problem for him.
Are you taking some kind of core sample?
Not exactly. I'm uncovering this section of strata for closer study. You might want to step back. I'm studying this area's metamorphosis.
Wowza! Wowza!
Is
What a
this
crystal!
Skylight or slate? Wow, the pressure above must be pretty uniform to get the planar fabric to be this consistent.
You know about geology?
Ooh, you just
For
impressed
example,
Maud,
when the Starlight went into this
Sunburst.
cave, I kind of figured there was another way out.
Because of the calcite deposits.
Poor Starlight. It really is sweet that Sunburst is getting along so well with Starlight's friends. We haven't had much of a chance to flesh out his personality like this.
Starlight? Where's Sunburst?
Last we saw, hanging out with
Stage
Maud.
magic with Trixie. Studying new rocks with Maud. You're here, so I guess you two aren't off translating some ancient old Ponish text.
What are you talking about? Why would Sunburst be doing any of that? I thought he came to Ponyville to see you.
Initially,
Thought so too.
but...
But it hasn't worked out that way. When we were foals, we had more in common than any two ponies in Equestria. But now it seems like he's got more in common with my friends than he does with me.
Aw, Glimmy.
Oh, every pony changes. But that doesn't mean there aren't still things you both like. You both love magic, right?
That's right.
Sure, you're really good at it. And Sunburst practically knows every spell that ever was.
Very true.
You're right! Thanks, Twilight. You're the best!
Aww.
Try.
Starlight, what happened? Maud and I found some fascinating sedimentary stratum, but when I turned to show you, you were gone.
Maud does have a way of making rocks really interesting, but I wanted to work on something a little more us.
Something magical.
What's this?
Just a little something I made up.
Writing your own spell.
Whoa!
Ambitious.
Made up this spell? Just now?
Yeah,
She's got a lot of magical talent. Hold on to your manes.
Wow!
Would you? Look at that.
but wait, there's more.
Time for part 2. Aw, look how cute they are.
Sure.
Now we can play Dragon Pit, just like we used to.
Now, this may look like a time travel spell, but we know Starlight would never attempt something like that again. This is more like a magical holodeck, changing the environment while still staying in the same place. Also, Starlight really must be the highest level unicorn if she can do an age spell.
Actually, I thought we could go with Maud and...
I mean, nothing was better than just you and me playing this game when we were fools, right?
When you were foals,
What,
maybe.
red or blue?
Starlight!
Ouch. Back to normal.
What's going on in here? Nothing. I was trying to have fun doing the one thing I thought we still had in common. But I guess we don't even have that anymore.
Aw, Starlight.
I don't understand. Starlight and I have known each other since we were foals, but that doesn't mean we have to be foals to hang out.
I know that,
Starlight
and
does
you know
have a
that.
tendency to overdo.
I mean, it is surprising how well I get along with all of her friends, but she and I still have tons in common.
Maybe you just need
Like?
to remind her what those things are.
That's it! That's exactly what I'll do. Right after I think of them.
If you don't even know, that's not good.
Obviously, you and I hit it off. I am quite impressive. And we share a love for prestidigitation.
Bravo, my dear.
Starlight and I share a lot of things too. I just need to think of them. What else do you guys have in common?
Well, we've both made not-so-great choices in the past.
It's how you two first connected, after all.
And we're self-conscious about every pony judging us, even though we've both changed and are trying hard to be better.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
Just
don't
let
really
them
have
move
that.
on in peace. Sunburst, you're not paying attention.
I can think of something you have in common. You're both poor practice audiences.
Starlight's not that bad, is she?
Starlight and I don't really have a lot in common, other than feeling different from most ponies. And comedy.
Well, of course.
I'm very funny.
Yes, you are, Maud.
Well, it's more than I can think of that she and I have in common.
We don't really spend that much time talking about that, though. Mostly we're just comfortable around each other.
Which is perfectly
Used to
okay.
be. We did everything together. But now I'm wondering if we've spent so much time apart that we don't connect over anything anymore. And if we can't connect over anything, then maybe we're not even friends.
Well,
Don't say
it's
that.
not serious. That was a joke.
Okay, I want you guys to look at something. I didn't notice this the first time, but look at Boulder. He was sitting right there, next to Maud, minding his own business, and then, in that infinitesimal space of time we looked away, he took a dip in the mirror pool. You are an incorrigible scamp, you little piece of basalt.
I appreciate you trying to help, Twilight, but it seems pretty clear that Sunburst and I have grown apart.
I
Aw,
understand. And I
Clemmy.
feel like that only happens if you both let it. You still want to be friends, right?
I created a spell so we could relive playing a game in our childhood home. And bodies.
If that doesn't say she still wants to be friends,
Not sure
I don't know
Sunburst
what
wants to
does.
stay friends too.
I think you might be surprised.
Guess who?
So,
For the new and improved Dragon Pit!
Ta-da!
We had to take out a few spaces to get it to fit, but you hardly missed them. Maud made the dice.
Excellent craftsmanship.
pumice is the lightest igneous rock. It seemed the best choice.
Nicely done, Maud.
And I added the special effects. There's nothing like a little well-placed magic smoke.
Good work, Trix.
Looks like some pony's dragon is gonna get trapped.
I thought you didn't want to play this game.
Well, I didn't want to pretend to be a foal, but I know you wanted to play. I thought it'd be fun to play a version big enough for full-grown ponies.
That was really thoughtful, Sunburst.
Right?
You've got great friends, Starlight.
Actually, it's missing something.
Uh-oh. Whoop! Down you go.
Now it's fun.
Hey, Lyra. Bonbon.
I don't know why I got so worried about us not having anything in common.
Yeah, I kind of think it doesn't matter as long as we enjoy each other's company.
And
That's
the game
right.
was certainly enjoyable.
What made it even better was getting to play it with all my friends.
Aww. Come on, Maud, you too.
See you soon?
You bet. I want to hear if you find anything interesting in that barrel.
Trust me, Starlight. You'll be the first to know.
Safe travel, Sunburst. Well, that's not ominous in the slightest. And there you have it, my friends. The pre-finale episode of Season 7. I actually saw elements of previous episodes mixed in with this one. Specifically, Once Upon a Zeppelin and Forever Philly. I'll explain what I mean as I go along. Sunburst was visiting Ponyville, and Starlight couldn't have been happier. She saw it as a perfect opportunity to finally reconnect with her old friend, doing the things they used to when they were foals, confident in how much they had in common. Unfortunately, a lot of time had passed between them without contact, so Starlight found herself at a loss when Sunburst revealed interests she didn't even know about. Specifically, antiquing, stage magic, and geology. Luckily for him, this allowed him to establish bonds with Starlight's other close friends, Twilight, Trixie, and Maud. Seeing him enjoy himself with them was so heartwarming. On the other hand, Starlight was feeling a little left out. Sunburst seemed to be having a lot more fun with her friends than with her. Even after they did have a fun time playing their old favorite game, Dragon Pit. She started to worry that they had nothing in common anymore, and might not even be friends anymore. She went so far as to create a spell that simulated their childhood home, and even turned them into foals, so they could relive the past. When Sunburst put his hoof down about it, Starlight was crushed, thinking she lost the one thing she still had in common with her old friend. It was like Rarity in Forever Philly. She didn't realize that the last time they did those things would be the last time. Sunburst may have seemed a bit insensitive, gushing about how much fun he was having with the others, especially Twilight, but he didn't mean any harm by it. We saw in the crystalline that he had a high regard for her royal studiousness, and being able to spend a day having fun with her made him lose himself a bit in excitement. Tell me you wouldn't be the same way if you got to spend a day with any of the main seven. Besides, he wasn't trying to leave Starlight behind. He was trying to include her in the fun they were having, showing her antiques and all that. She was the one insisting that she was fine. It's like in Once Upon a Zeppelin, after Twilight missed out on the Northern Stars. She was in tears, while her family was talking about how great the stars were. It may have seemed insensitive, but don't forget, they did express worry that Twi wasn't getting to do what she wanted. Twi kept insisting that she was perfectly okay with everything, and they went along with it. These ponies aren't mind readers after all. Sunburst himself wasn't sure what to do, since even he wasn't sure what he and Starlight still had in common, and went around asking Starlight's friends for their opinions. Finally, they all pitched in to give Starlight a nice surprise, a life-size game of Dragon Pit, which succeeded in cheering her up and reaffirming that Sunburst still is her friend. Having a common interest might be what first sparks a friendship, but it doesn't necessarily have to keep it going. Interests and hobbies evolve over time, after all. It can be jarring to meet up with an old friend, only to find they don't have much interest in what you used to do. However, commonality isn't always the most important factor, as long as you're enjoying yourself with your friend. A sweet, but sad episode, all in all. Before I close out, though, I want to talk about something, and this is based on a discussion I had with a good friend. I've done what I can to bash myself against spoilers from the rampant leaks this season. I haven't always been 100% successful, like with parental guidance and a royal problem. It makes me wish YouTube had a feature that could hide suggested videos unless you wanted to see them, or else that people would be more considerate of how they make their thumbnails to respect those avoiding spoilers. However, as long as I don't understand the context, I don't feel too worried. I caught a glimpse of something that seems connected with the finale, and after examining that book in Sunburst's blind buy barrel, my suspicions seemed confirmed. Throughout this season, even if not all the episodes are strictly interconnected, there's been a bit of a running theme. The past. History. Time. Twilight's worries about Starlight's future reflecting how Celestia worried about her. Rarity being stuck in the past in regards to Sweetie Belle. Rainbow Dash's foalhood with her parents. The story of how Bright Mac and Buttercup fell in love and got married. The friendship journal and all that came with it. Thorax and Ember dealing with changelings and dragons still clinging to their old ways. Starlight and Sunburst. And last, but not least, the stories and legends of heroes of Equestria's past. Now, let's take another look at that book. It looks quite old, doesn't it? On the cover is a cluster of stars and some swirling shapes. Stars and swirls, and vaguely in the shape of a long beard. Now, there's a comic cover for the Legends of Magic series that I happened to glimpse. It features Rockhoof, Mistmane, Flash Magnus, Somnambula, Mage Meadowbrook, and one more pony. I don't think I need to say anything more. It seems to me that one more legend is due to appear in the show. Someone we've known about since Season 2. Someone who's previously dabbled in magic dealing with time. Someone who, through what they left behind, has made a lasting impact on at least one princess of Equestria. All we have to do now is see how they figure in. Until next time, the finale, see ya!